One last hurrah for the day. This is my third time streaming. One last time. Oh my god. So, I was on the phone. I thought that, oh, it's not gonna be worth it this time at night. But the conversation was a little shorter than I expected. So I was like, okay, I'll take a gamble and get back on, and I'll get off in about like 30 minutes as no one comes on. Because I can't expect anyone to come on because it's really late. It's ridiculously late, so I can't expect anybody to come in here or whatnot. I can't expect anything. Really, I can't expect anything because it's so late and it's a Tuesday night. I can't expect anything out of this. But I was like, okay, here goes nothing. What the hell? Because my guy wants. So I just found out that Ozzy Osbourne's gonna be at Sun Monsterpalooza Saturday. So I'm thinking about going on Saturday. I heard tickets are $200 a pop, which is like a lot of money for me. And I was talking with my dad about that, and he was like, "Yeah, that's a lot of money. It's not worth $200, but that would be cool. That would be cool. I already paid a fortune to get a photo of Elvira in my costume. Ozzy is like really, 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 really a big deal. I mean, he is really iconic. A-lister. Like, Ozzy Osbourne is like an A-lister, so that would be like really, that would be crazy. It would probably really help me with my marketing and PR too, and advertising. That would really probably get, like, that would get people noticing me that wouldn't normally notice me potentially, but I'll have to see. Rat Sync. Oh, you finally were able to make it in because I pinged everyone. I'm glad you were finally able to make it. So, it's weird. Like, people just subscribe to my channel, and I see they subscribe, but I didn't even notice, like, their channel. I just looked at your channel. Finally. Uh, I'm taking a gamble on this because it's the witching hours. I usually get no engagement during the witching hours. Because, duh. Because no one's up. I can't expect anything. You know, because no one's up. I can't expect much out of it. And it's a freaking weekday. So yeah, this stream is probably gonna be boring as hell. Cause I'm setting up TikTok right now. Usually TikTok will pick up the slack. They'll see. I mean, usually this time at night, TikTok is also, forget it. Usually this time at night, TikTok is also bad. The witching hours. TikTok doesn't do well during the witching hours either. My avatar is really getting weird, man. Oh, I have a bunch of stuff fall on the ground. My avatar is getting really weird, man. Look at that. My avatar has become self-aware and it just started dancing. I'm not moving my shoulders like that. I'm not moving my shoulders like that. My avatar just became self-aware. I'm not moving like that. I'm not all crooked like that. I need to reset it. It's because I'm standing up and walking around. It does stuff like this. When I stand up and walk around, I have to sit down and reset it. It's kind of funny though. This is kind of funny. I'm really tired, but I don't eat cereal. I'm usually a night owl, but I didn't get I didn't get like enough sleep before your meeting. Uh, a bunch of stuff just fell too. That's lovely. But I'm gonna have to deal with that. Obviously, all the stuff that fell. Havana. I always have something to do. Oh God. Oh my God. What is all this water spilling? Oh my God. I always have bad luck whenever I fill up my metal water bottle on the floor. I always have bad luck with it. Oh, oh my God. You can see pictures of the aftermath. I thought no one was gonna be here, so did I take a picture? No. Oh my God, why is everything in my room like, what the hell? I have barely enough room for my chair. Hey, Rick, hey, what's up? Hope all is well. Whoa, I haven't seen you here in a while, so I've been doing, oh, my avatar is like going nuts. Um, I'm sorry, I'm like really tired, I started doing, Discord streaming notifications, and I finally did everyone because somebody told me to do that. Like, how did you find out I was streaming? Like, was it through that? Or you just haven't been able to come in, I don't know. Maybe you haven't been able to come in, I don't know. Okay, yeah, Rhetoric area updates. So I'm just like really busy because I got this like class internship thing and it's keeping me like really busy and my schedule has changed a lot. And I was like streaming at some earlier times today and then I was thinking that I wasn't gonna stream, but then I was like, okay. Uh I was on the phone and I got off the phone. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take gambles, see if people show up because it's like extremely late. It's like the witching hours and it's a weekday, so I was like, okay, I'll take a gamble to see if people will actually show up. But I streamed two other times today, earlier today. I streamed earlier today, like two other times. But how are you doing? If it beats late at night always hits. Yeah, I streamed two other times earlier today because I had a lot of work to do today. Well, I had work I had to do, like I had to like do it in a certain time frame, but okay, yeah, I had a class internship meeting today, like earlier today, like this afternoon, and it was on Zoom. Luckily this time it's hybrid, so some weeks it's in person, some weeks it's on Zoom. Luckily this week it was on Zoom, so it enabled me to stream like at noon and it enabled me to like be able to stream at like I was streaming at like around yeah, it was 3:10 Pacific Standard Time, which I usually never, but I had some urgent work that I had to do. I had some at the time I was under the belief that I had urgent emails to send out based on the meeting. I was under the impression that I had some urgent emails to send out. But however, I got a response from somebody I had texted earlier related to some class internship project and they were like, yeah, I'll turn that into you by the end of the week so you can submit it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that happened to me while I was streaming and I didn't have the urgency to send out these emails anymore, but I just did it anyways because I was streaming at the time I just sent out these emails I was planning on sending. I just sent them out anyways. I was like, what the hell? I'm going to show the aftermath of this bill now. Yeah, I know my avatar is in the way, but I think you could see enough of it without me turning off my avatar. Okay, I'm just gonna do it because I found it. There's always, my OBS is cluttered as hell. I have so many things in the same scene. That's the aftermath of this though. And that's right when Spooky said take a picture. I like, okay. Oh my, that looks scary. Hey, I'm glad you stay humble and real with yourself and community. Yeah, yeah, like, thanks. I'm not sure how I do that, but thanks. I guess by not taking myself too seriously and being kind to people, right, and being empathetic. I'll try to be. Well, there, what's up? How's it going? How you doing? Oh, Yeah, you're a good person. We love you. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. So, like, that's like on Monday, I got like no engagement, but I streamed anyways because I had one person. I had Pretty Lee here. Pretty Lee finally came back, and we were talking about our upbringings, and I grew up in Los Angeles, so growing up in Los Angeles versus her, she grew up in Louisiana, where like everyone was poor. But the difference, major difference of me growing up in Los Angeles is like you really see like people who are like people just who have a lot more than you, like like there was like somebody in high school that like had a fancy sports car straight out of the bat, and there was some of these kids were like rich, and stuff like that, and like my family got to the point where we couldn't afford to like take vacations and stuff like that. So my point is, I don't want to ramble and I don't want to use this as therapy, but sometimes I do. But my point is that growing up, I know that I had this complex where I never really felt good enough. I had this like complex from being like bullied and stuff like that, and from like comparing myself to others, that I never felt good enough. But yeah, something crazy about LA is like you can be dirt poor, but you cannot be too far from those who have like the houses that the mansions. Like you can be dirt poor but not be too far from the people who are in Beverly Hills who have like the mansions and all the money. You can be like dirt poor but not be too far from the people who have the money. And I'm just gonna say it, wealth disparity is like really apparent in LA, like in Los Angeles, and like that kind of developed a like complex in me growing up in, like, um like through this, like I finally am good enough through this medium that I do, through this character I do. I finally am good enough. Like I can finally like be proud of myself. I can finally like have like a sense of pride in myself through like this whole medium that I do. I finally feel good enough. Like I finally feel like fulfilled now. Like because growing up it was so difficult to feel fulfilled or to feel good enough. And I was always trying to like show off. I was always trying to resort to like showing off, saying or doing things, to try to like make myself like look impressive. In reality, I was just being an awkward kid, I was just awkward. In reality, I was just an awkward little noodle, the awkward noodle. Um, Chat history says, yeah, I think my high school is just middle, low class. We had like one rich kid. Yeah, something that'll drive you crazy about growing up in LA is the wealth disparity is in your face, and it's like right in front of you. And if you're poor, and it like you will really, really, really like get. And my family wasn't even necessarily like really poor or anything like that at all, by like just not being as well off as the kid next to you, it will really show, in like high school. Like it can really show like not being well off as not being as well off as the kid next to you, or not comparing yourself to here it's all about LA. It's all about vanity, it's all about flashy, being flashy is all about vanity, it's all about like, yeah, who can be, you know who's gonna be the flashiest, who's gonna like who's like gonna like, you know who's gonna flex the money, who's gonna flex the money, who's gonna flex the most. It's all about flexing here, all that. Yeah. Oh man. So that can take a toll on you psychologically growing up in that kind of like environment. But I wasn't the only one who was. But at times I would feel like the only one. Sometimes you do feel like the only one who like doesn't, like, you can never have enough in LA. Like in LA it's like you can almost never have enough. But yeah, I digress. Rookie Center says, I always thought you were a witch. You live in your own house in LA and you have your tapestry. No poor person has a tapestry. Oh yeah, I know. My family has been like middle class, so oh yeah, I mean I could see why you would think that, absolutely. You know? I could see why. LA sounds like everything wrong with society, yeah. My point is that my point is, oh yeah, I know that I'm better off than a lot of people, I know that. But my point is that I did grow up with a lot of like my peers who were like much better off than me in like an extreme way. I grew up with people who were like better off than me, and like a lot of my peers were like spoiled and stuff. Like I mentioned, I grew up without any video games. You know, I never like got the Xbox. I never got the gaming consoles. I never got the Nintendos, even though I wanted it. And like my peers, like pretty much all of my peers, like they had it. Like they always had it. Like if I wanted it, they had it. And they all like in kindergarten, like all my peers, they had like freaking iPods. They had like the iPod Nano. Like everybody had the iPod Nano, and I didn't. So I mean, yeah, I wasn't spoiled though. So that does build character, because when you're spoiled, you turn into a brat. Yeah, I know. Well, I know. And I'm not trying to take away from that either. I'm not trying to take away from it, you know. I know that LA is magical, great weather, great restaurants, entertainment, beaches, celebs, bimbos, what's not to love. Yeah, and of course, those are the things I love about LA, but that's why I love LA at the same time, you know, of course. Of course. I mean, I'm not trying to take away from that, you know, but I think people have a different perspective of LA, like, where if LA is like a great distance to you versus actually living in LA, you have like a different perspective, you know. But I do love those things about LA, and I remind myself every day that like I am grateful for those things about this area, you know. And that's why I want to stay in LA, of course, because in LA it's much easier to like get like well connected and stuff. But I mean, I know that like for the most part growing up I had it good. I know that. I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to like make it look like oh no I had it hard. No, I didn't. Jet history says I think celebs are beaches or anything for me. I don't think celebs or beaches do anything for me, but I can find great restaurants anywhere else in the world for a quarter of the price in traffic. Yeah, I know. So cost of living is kind of high here. Yeah, it's high. It's high compared to most places. Cost of living is high. Okay, there was somebody. I was at CBS and there was this guy from Wisconsin. He came here from Wisconsin. He was just visiting, and he was complaining about how high the prices were. I remember it. Like he was like he got all excited. I think he was kind of drunk and he got all excited and he was upset. This was like years ago before you guys knew who I was, way long ago. But yeah, you get free rent, cost of living ideal. hadn't always been necessarily like that, but yeah. Well, I'm talking about for the majority of people. It's really I'm gonna drop this subject because I feel like I'm getting taken out of context. I'm just gonna drop it. But for the majority of people, the cost of living is really expensive, and this is why I live with family, you know? If the cost of living wasn't so high, it would like have, you know, something more than that. I just was trying to talk about never mind. My upbringing, but never mind. Ahem. So what's your favorite food? Yeah, thanks for switching the topic because that was kind of a little like uh pizza for the most part. I mean, I have several foods that I like to eat. What's your favorite food to eat? Pizza? What kind of pizza do you get? I like deep dish pizza. A lot of cheese and sauce. Aspires and Army MREs are your fave. Have you ever seen the MRE Steve? Oh my god, that's crazy. Have you seen an MRE Steve? You like eat like a 100-year-old war ration? And I've like made the mistake of like trying to watch Steve MRE while eating. I watched Steve MRE eat like a Civil War ration and then like try to eat or like a like an MRE from like World War II and then like I eat after watching that. Yeah, Steve MRE is this guy called Steve MRE. I've known about him for years. Yeah, he does crazy stuff. If like it reminds me of like Jackass, but for MREs, for eat what you would eat. Chen History says, well, I love steak, but I eat a lot of Mexican food because it's cheap. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I love tamales, same. Yeah, I've never had an MRE. But yeah, the fact that yeah. So I know I said I'm from LA, but where you from, maybe you don't mind like disclosing, but if you do mind, I understand. Like I get that. If I check history says if I want to live in California, enjoying the beaches and stuff, I'll probably have to live off the expiry of Marie's. Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in LA, so my family was already living in LA, so I did get lucky in that regard, I will admit. Okay. Well, Alright. Shit. I think I'm gonna hop off of here.